Welcome back.
I'm just waiting for someone to start tracking my like decline into the couch.
Yeah.
Like lower and lower until like one episode I'm gone and then there's another person here.
Man.
It'll be the kid show replacement Dan. Hey, I'm Dan. Like same clothes and everything, but clearly a different actor.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Steve on Blue's Clues that got replaced?
Yeah.
You know what? I think I can do better than this. Yeah, well, you didn't, Steve.
It was a rumor that he got like put in jail and like was doing coke and stuff.
Totally not true. He became like some obscure musician, like we are.
Yeah. He took all his money and like ran away.
He was so good at it though. That's what made it sad. It wasn't that he quit. It was like he was awesome at it.
Yeah.
And then the new guy sucked.
Yeah.
The new guy was like, just tell me what to do, studio and dog.
Yeah.
Steve and that was Steve's house.
Yeah.
Like he owned that house.
That's right.
Who was the other guy, Kyle or whatever that replaced him?
Dude, I'm not sure.
I don't know, but he sucked. He was like what's his name?
His
second
name?
Robin, Jason.
Oh wait.
Jason.
What are you talking about? The second Robin?
Yeah, Batman and Robin, the one that came after Dick Grayson that died. Jason Todd.
Jason Todd.
He was the Jason Todd of Blue's Clues. Only he didn't die violently. It probably should have.
Oh yeah. There you
go.
There was Dick Grayson, Jason Todd,
Tim Drake,
but there was a girl in there too.
She came right after Tim Drake, and I forgot her name. It was like Samantha. What was her name? But she was Spoiler.
Yeah.
And she trained to be Robin for like a month, but she wouldn't take orders. And Batman was like, "Get out of here! You don't take orders.
Get out of here!"
And then he admitted to Tim that he did it just to make him jealous.
yeah. See, but
I forgot her name, but she had like a kid.
Yeah.
And she was like trying to fight crime, and I'm like, "You're a terrible mother."
Yeah. And then the last one was Damian Wayne.
Yeah, he sucked too. I didn't like him.
Yeah.
I didn't like Damian.
Did you like Jason Todd?
No. I think Dick Grayson and Tim Drake were the only two that mattered. I thought that Hush and whatever else Jason Todd became. What did he become? What did they call him after that?
Restrictions lifted.
Oh. No, wait. Who was Red Robin?
Red Robin, was what Tim Drake became whenever he got promoted.
That's right.
Which his costume sucked, and it was a dumb idea.
Yep.
I forgot what they called Jason Todd.
Because Dick Grayson became Nightwing, if that's the one where he lived. Because that shit kind of splits.
I don't know, but
what
did they call Jason Todd?
I gotta put my
I'm gonna look it up while we talk, but I thought War of the Robins was good, and I wish they'd have done more of it. Where they thought Batman had died.
Oh yeah.
So
yep.
Dick Grayson donned the mantle even though he didn't want. He did it because there was another Batman running around.
Yep.
And Red Hood. That's what they call him.
That's why I got Red Robin like mixed up.
I just think they should have done more with Jason, where maybe he goes to another town and starts trying to set up his own crime business. I mean, he was trained by Batman with something. Even if like I don't like him as a Robin, he's still got to be like one of the best fighters on the planet. And even if he wasn't like the best I mean, you're being the worst Robin is still being like the best sidekick ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
like, what are you gonna do? What else?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he clearly was awesome at what he did, even though he wasn't as good. But him and Dick Grayson fought several times, and of course Dick beat him if they weren't doing like a, first arc of a plot setup where Jason does something underhanded, gets away or something. You have to do that. But they fall on top of a train, and like I think Dick was like, "I've always been the best," or something like that, and like put his head like through a train window or something like that. It was something really cool because Dick Grayson never gets to like unleash.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
I think they made Tim Drake a good character because he was like a detective. He's a detective from the start.
Yeah.
Like, he actually deduced that Batman was Bruce Wayne and found the Batcave.
Yep.
But they downplayed his combat skills because he wasn't a gymnast.
Right.
and he wasn't some street turd like Jason Todd was, and Damien, you know, was trained as an assassin.
Yeah.
So I think Tim Drake was probably the physically weaker of the four, but he was probably the best detective of them.
Yeah. I liked Jason, like the bad shit that happened to Jason Todd.
Yeah, I liked him as Red Hood.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what I was leading up to. You just, even if you're a Batman dropout,
right,
you're still a better villain than probably any villain outside of the Joker or something, you know?
Because I really like that Teen Titans shit with Slade.
Yeah.
Like Slade Wilson. Or, sorry.
Deadshot?
Deadshot.
Yeah. Or was it Deathstroke?
No, it was Deathstroke. Deathshot was the other guy. But that's where, like...
Why do they have both of them?
They were different kinds of mercenaries and shit.
But I think they had them fight, and I think Deathstroke, like, kicked his ass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, like, that Teen Titans show, which had
unlimited potential to be great.
Yeah, but it had all the Robins in it. You learned that that Robin in that Teen Titans show was...
He was Dick Grayson.
Yeah, but they wrote in that all the other Robins were the same age. Yeah. So instead of Dick Grayson growing up and then like the other, like Tim Drake and all coming, they were all in there. So...
Well, that's what's weird is when it started, I thought he was Tim Drake.
Right, me too.
Because Dick Grayson, except maybe way back, he's never been that small.
Right.
I mean, he was a gymnast, so even if he was like 14, that dude's gonna be built.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. If the timeline is true, where Raven goes into the future.
Yep.
And he's Nightwing, then it has to be Dick Grayson.
Yep. They never showed who Red X was.
No, the first one was Robin.
Right. But then
there's another one.
Yeah, and I think that was supposed to be either Jason Todd or Tim Drake.
Yeah, see,
were in the universe.
That would. I mean, I like how they did Red Hood. It's all right. I mean, I don't like the mask, but they finally settled on like a red mask.
Yeah.
Like, for him, so he looks like an evil Nightwing.
Yeah.
But I would have been fine with him being Red X.
Yeah. In the Batman games, like the Batman Arkham City and Arkham Knight and stuff.
Yeah.
Red Hood was actually really cool because they just had like a red mask. Like a red mask for him.
Yeah.
So he was actually cool, and I think he was in the Injustice video game.
Well, it's a good way to do it because the Red Hood was the same villain that they used for the Joker before he was the Joker. Like,
yep.
They were like, whoever had the hood was the Red Hood, and it was a bunch of gangs that used it.
Yep.
And they set him up as it, and that's how he fell into the pit in one of the many origin stories. So the writers of that era were really good, like the Long Halloween and Hush and all that. Those were like some of the best recent Batman stories ever. I'd like you to deliver it to a colleague of mine. But I like how they bring it back because it's such a good. You never saw a Batman trained villain before.
Right.
I mean, he's scary. This guy thinks like Bruce does, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was getting with like Slade. It's like.
Slade was a great villain.
They alluded to Slade have been being trained. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
If Slade was trained by Batman.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was supposed to be a big reveal that he was actually Tim Drake.
Yeah.
And then older, like they would flip the ages.
Yeah.
Tim Drake would have been older, but they never got around to it. They ended it, and whoever stole the Red X thing, no one found out who that was, and no one really ever found out who Slade was. So it would. I mean, they've done movies and shit, but it's not. They're not going to come back and then just.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I know Titans Go can be funny, but what a waste! Like, what a huge waste of potential.
Did you see they did a crossover movie?
Yeah, but I still didn't. It's still a waste. Like, why did you have to do Go? Why couldn't you just keep? I was like, well, we weren't selling toys. It's like.
Yeah. Right. Pathologist, 4 containers or something, and then go home.
I don't know, man. That's why it's better, I think. Like the streaming services now, maybe like Netflix, for however long is that going to last? Like. They at least let you do an entire show, or at least like a whole season. I mean, so you know you're gonna get like a season to do something. It doesn't just get canceled out of nowhere.
Yep.
And it's not dependent on toy sales.
That's right.
So,
I mean, they brought like Thundercats back,
and it sucked.
Right.
But it's like Thundercats Roar, and everybody. Oh God, I watched some of that. It made me so mad because Lion-O's an idiot.
Yep.
and they're all children, and it's so stupid.
Children.
For a great big fat person.
They're all children.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
It made me mad. But you know what? Like that guy like hates Thundercats.
Yeah.
Like he says like some really stupid things, and like I don't know, man. Why do they give dumb people like license to these franchises, like these classic franchises, and let them ruin it?
Man, I don't know.
Anything that looks like Steven Universe, I'm not watching. I'm sorry if you're a Steven Universe fan. I mean, I'm not ripping it, but I think the animation looks awful. Maybe it works for that show.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for Thundercats.
No. That show was weird because
Which show?
Steven Universe.
I never saw it. I just saw the animation. I was like, I don't want to watch it.
I didn't. Okay, so what I know about it is just from like really what I've seen on like YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently, like it looks like it was like a kid show and was really shitty, and then all of a sudden it got really like deep. You know what I mean?
I know Tumblr got a hold to it, so that could mean anything.
Well, it had like some. So the three girls, the three gemstones or whatever above him, like
yeah, they're like alien lesbians or something.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Which isn't as hot as it sounds.
But it's not like they never said that they were like in like a relationship together,
but
they would like fuse. No, it was
yeah,
they're not like people.
Yeah, they're not humans.
They're more gemstones. They're more like just rocks and shit, right?
Yeah, they just take that form to raise him or something.
Yeah, like he's a gemstone, right?
I don't know what he is.
No, he is. He's a gem, like they are. But he was like a reincarnation or something. Anyway, what I'm saying is, it started as just like this fun kid show, like The Amazing World of Gumball, or even like Adventure Time.
Yeah.
But just like Adventure Time, it got really serious, and it kind of suffered for that. But it had nothing else going for it because the animation looked stupid.
As opposed to Adventure Time, which actually got more viewers the more serious it became.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why they had that choice of art style and stuff, but it wasn't good.
It's cheap.
Yeah. But I feel like Adventure Time was a little cheap because, like,
I don't know, man. Maybe, but they would do like perspectives, and the art was really kind of smooth looking sometimes. I never finished Adventure Time, but I liked it.
It got really sad.
Yeah, no, like they started doing like apocalyptic crossovers, and like Finn was real for like a little bit, and then he wasn't, and
they the Lich King really like fucked shit up. Like when you go back, you actually watch, because the little snail.
Yeah, he was actually the Lich King.
Was the Lich, yeah. So eventually, like, he fucked up reality like twice.
Yeah.
And then he and Finn and Princess Bubblegum were will they won't they for a long time.
Yeah.
And then like Finn and Flame Princess like had a thing. Then they broke off. Then they had a thing again. Then they broke off. And then it was just left open. Like, because the last couple episodes I remember seeing and really like putting in my brain box was Finn was really mad at Princess Bubblegum. And he was just like,
yeah, she's kind of a jerk sometimes.
But like she really actually needed him to save her and do something, and not just as a kid, like as a man.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, so you're gonna consider me a hero and a man now? I see. You know, you didn't want me like all this other times, but like." And then like they had this really heartfelt moment where she was like, "I love you" and all this stuff, and he like rejected her.
Oh wow.
Or something.
But I thought she and Marceline had like a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe that was in the past. I don't remember.
That was in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marceline.
Yeah, but then all the crossover people like Marshall Lee and like
it was a dude.
Cake.
Yeah.
Well, they were something that the Ice King made up. And when you think about like the Ice King and his past, and did you ever learn about him?
Oh yeah, it was so sad.
Yeah, he got infected.
Yeah.
By like that ice.
It was the apocalypse. Like yeah.
He was like a scientist, and he made that crown to keep him from dying.
Yeah, wasn't there like a kid there too or something?
Marceline.
Yeah.
Marceline.
And then the bubble gum that was like on the side of the street got infected, and it became Bubblegum Princess.
Right.
I remember that. Yeah.
So. But yeah, that was at the end of the world. That was it. Oh shit.
That's what created the Adventure Time world. Yeah, man, that was weird.
Sorry, I didn't know I was in BTs.
Oh man, that's just fun. That was weird. I remember that.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to put my mask on.
Yeah, because she saw like what the crown did to him.
Yep. But yeah, that was nuts. That was like, that plot got really serious, and then it had like a conclusion. Like,
Well, it's weird that Marceline was there because her dad's like that devil guy.
Yeah.
It's weird.
He's like the king of the whatever.
The necro realm, whatever it was called. The Nightosphere.
Nightosphere.
It came from the Nightosphere. Yeah.
But he was actually like,
who told you could fly?
Yeah,
that's that episode.
yeah. Who told you could fly? And he goes whack. Yep. Points. So I got to pick up all those things. All 4 of those things. I think I got to pick them up. And I think I got to cut an umbilical cord.
Oh. That's a weird thing. I was watching this thing on YouTube actually. Somebody was discussing like the death of the action cartoon. And it's like, they're kind of true. Like, not only is the art style super kiddie and gone, but when's the last time you saw like a successful like action cartoon, like Ben 10?
Oh yeah.
Or Samurai Jack? Because I mean, anime fills that void.
Yep.
But there's like none on the American side that I can think of.
Well, Disney kept canceling them and shit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a Thundercat show in like the 2000s that was like half anime and it looked great.
Yeah.
I hope it was a prequel. I haven't watched it, but what I saw, like Lion-O looks younger. They all look younger. But I know they remade She-Ra, but I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Which I don't care about She-Ra. I didn't care about He-Man, but I mean, I'll watch He-Man.
Yeah. Well, that's why like anime, like you said, does fulfill that like itch, I guess.
Yeah.
Man, I'm taking these BTs out. Fuck them.
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
But maybe that's what they realize, is that you can't compete really with anime.
Yeah. Which sucks, because those are really good. I actually really liked those when I was a kid. Like the Spider-Man fucking cartoon. And...
Well, X-Men's great, and it's still great. And X-Men, I'm going to go off on the whole thing here, but like...
Do it. I got to focus.
What bothers me about these shows is they kind of assume like a moral high ground. If we want to like get really like deep into it or whatever.
We do, or like the characters do?
The creators do.
Oh, I see.
Like,
I see.
I don't even think there's a moral anymore. Like, everything's a joke.
Yeah.
There's not even... Like, I think that's the problem people have with Steven Universe. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but I've seen the critiques of it, which puts me in a biased position, granted. But they're like, Steven doesn't learn anything. Steven doesn't change.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how Adventure Time was at first.
Yep.
And then they started bringing in consequences. Now you don't need to have heavy stuff in what's supposed to be a kids cartoon, but you can't live in this limbo where like it's a kids cartoon, but it's not a kids cartoon, but there's no value in it. You're just supposed to. I don't even think you're supposed to laugh. I don't know what it is. It's like sugar.
Yeah.
But I saw like the first episode of Infinity Train. And that was fantastic.
You showed me that. That was really good.
And I don't think I finished it. I mean, I know I did. I don't know if they finished it. But anyway.
I don't think they did. There was only like...
The first episode was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the 90s Xmen show.
Yeah.
They assumed that kids weren't stupid.
Right.
And it was heavy stuff. Like, in like the second or third episode... Beast gets left behind on a mission because they're being overwhelmed by Sentinels, and he's injured.
Yeah.
He gets arrested. Morph dies.
Yep.
And Beast gets arrested, and he's put in prison. And they come in, and they try to talk to him, and he's like meditating, and they're like, "Hey, I think we can get you out if I could be remembering this wrong. If you'll tell us about the mutants of the X-Men." And he's like, "Nah, I'm waiting my day in court." Well, the next episode, Magneto, the first thing I think we see Magneto do is break Beast out of prison.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, join me. You shouldn't have to suffer like this under the prejudice and oppression of humans."
Right.
And Beast is like, "No." And Beast puts like his leg shackles back on.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm going to go through the justice system and I'm going to show humans that were people too.
Yep.
And Magneto's like, why? And whatever. And he's like, well, you know, this is how you bring peace. Like, it sucks, and this is. But I mean, it was a Jesus, Martin Luther King, Gandhi thing.
Yeah.
Which we've lost in our culture, but I saw that as a kid.
Yeah. And it did something.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand all those ramifications or connections, but I realized that's right.
Yeah.
And that's like good, and it's hard, and it's scary, and you love Beast, and you understood already. You didn't understand everything, but you're like, he's not gonna win that, but he's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And it was really deep. And like, it was amazing. And I think in like the first or second episode, Storm's talking to Jubilee. It's probably the second one. And Jubilee goes, well, why do people hate us? And Storm goes, because people fear what they don't understand.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, you know?
Yeah.
You're like a little kid watching, all you want to see is like, pew pew, Snick. And then they throw that in there, and you're like, dude, Wolverine was so racist.
Yeah.
Towards Gambit. He kept calling him Cajun. He kept calling him Gumbo.
Yeah.
He kept making fun of his accent. Well, he's Canadian, I guess. And to be fair, Wolverine's like 100 years old, and he comes from a racist past.
Yeah. To be fair.
Anyway, there's one point where he's on top of Gambit, and he pulls his claws out. He goes, you ready to give up, Cajun? Just say uncle.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Anyway. So
that's what you want them to bring back, right? All the racism?
No, none of the Wolverine racism. That's terrible. But I just that's when Wolverine was my favorite character. Yeah. Not because of that, but because he was who he was. He was Wolverine. He was crazy, and he was like 5'3".
Yeah.
And ugly. But what made him my favorite character as a kid was seeing that same episode, or maybe it was like another episode, like 2 or 3 later. It was like in the first 5.
Yeah.
So much happens in like the first 5 episodes of that show.
Oh yeah, they set a precedent for like what you could do.
Sabretooth attacks. They subdue him. He's there. Professor's tried to like get into his head. There's too much rage. He talks. He tricks Jubilee, and he gets out. And everybody else is on a mission. Wolverine shows up because he had been off pouting somewhere or something.
Yeah.
And he's looking at Sabretooth, and he goes, you always like pushing around people are smaller than you. And he's like, pulls out his claw, and he goes, well, I'm smaller. Try pushing me.
Yeah, yeah.
And he loses that fight.
Yeah.
But it was still so awesome. Like, Cyclops blows Sabretooth through a wall.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, bam. But man, I'm not going to go. Comic Book Girl 19 did a great defense of Cyclops.
Oh, yeah?
It's one of my favorite YouTube videos ever because of the content, the way she did it, and because I like her as a person.
I mean, Cyclops is...
like how he's been so screwed over for like 20 years now.
Oh, yeah.
Like how he was a great character. He was an honorable person. He was a good person, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was extremely strong, competent leader, and then they made him a loser.
Yeah. Like in the movies and stuff?
In everything. Like,
oh, so just like in general, they made him a loser.
Yeah, in general, they screwed him over. And the movies made him a wuss. They made Wolverine like 6'1", Hugh Jackman. And in the comic, I remember having like new Xmen, which I love the new Xmen comics, the original ones. And he like cheated on Jean with Emma Frost in his head.
Yeah, I remember
and the only good thing that came from it was Jean Grey blew her brain up.
Yeah.
Which anytime Emma Frost gets beat up, I love it. 'Cause she's awful.
Yeah.
But they gave her the ability to turn to diamond skin for some reason.
Oh.
She was psychic and had diamond skin.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, she ends up running the show like because Cyclops is an incompetent man boy now.
Yeah.
Which,
Oops.
if it was Jean Grey helping run the show or running the show, I wouldn't care because she's awesome. But Emma Frost, ugh.
You said, Emma
Frost.
Awful.
She's awful. I don't care. I don't feel sympathy for her. I think she's just a terrible person. She's not a bad character. I mean, the fact that I feel that badly about her probably means that she's a good character.
Yeah.
But I don't like her.
No, I don't like her.
Well, it's like no one likes King Joffrey.
Yeah.
But he's a great character, great actor, but anyway.
I think you're the first person to talk about Game of Thrones in like the longest time.
Oh, that's fine. It was such a disappointment.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's really funny. Man. We don't have to bring that back up.
No.
And for the record, the only shit of Game of Thrones I have seen has been like the first 2 seasons, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, you'll love it up to like the 6th season, and the 7th's not bad, and then the 8 is trash. You heard me, internet. The season 8 is trash. It's the Last Jedi of Game of Thrones.
I didn't. Oh, I don't want to talk about the Last Jedi.
I know.
But I will say this as well, that the only reason I really didn't keep watching Game of Thrones, and I didn't watch it when it was on. I thought it was way too fucking hyped, and people were being like really pussies about, oh, this is the only greatest show ever.
Yeah.
And I've been watching way better plots.
Like Breaking Bad didn't exist.
Well, yeah, but I've been watching way better plots in anime.
Yeah.
And way worse plots
In anime.
In anime, you know.
Yeah.
But I was really consumed with like just watching a lot of anime at the time.
Yeah, you should be.
Oh yeah, I should be. Just to let everybody know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't like putting like what I am and what I like based off of shit other people can influence.
Yeah, yeah. Groupthink can be really awful, and you can end up liking some crap or saying you like some crap you don't really like.
Oh shit, I almost peed on the cargo. But anyway, what the hell is going on?
You were peeing and then you stopped.
There we go. Anyway, so what were you saying? King Joffrey being like
Great character,
yeah,
and you're supposed to hate him, you know.
right.
Kid's a good actor too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game of Thrones, man, it was great. And then
Were you saying King Joffrey was like Magneto? Who you're saying he was like?
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
don't like her.
I don't know if she's a good character though.
I think she was a good villain. I think she was a really good villain when she was with the Hellfire Club.
Here would be a bad idea.
Damn it! Keep peeing, you son of a bitch.
But I don't know, man. Fox has found a way to completely botch the X-Men. I'll never watch any of them. I liked Logan, but maybe I said that on here. The one thing I would change about Logan was get rid of the stupid young clone of him and make it Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? The one thing I wish they would do is they're gonna do like continue doing X-Men movies or whatever.
Yeah.
I would love to see an X-Force movie, not X-Force, a Weapon X movie.
Oh yeah.
That is about the original Weapon X team, which was like Maverick, Sabretooth, Silver Fox, Wolverine, and they go on a mission to the USSR to fight their weapon program or like destroy it.
Yeah.
And it's Omega Red. Like in the comics, and Omega Red just trashes them.
Yep.
And it turns into kind of like this Siberian horror where the four of them, they kind of hate each other anyway,
Yeah.
are having to survive this huge threat. And it's bloody and dangerous. You're seeing Sabretooth and Wolverine get lashed out and like limbs ripped off and broken and having to grow back and all that or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'd be really cool. That'd be like a Predator movie.
Yeah. Man, Omega Red, talking about like characters that got the shaft.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. He hasn't been like a fully fleshed out villain in any other thing than like a comic book.
Well, he doesn't.
Even in the games though.
Well, he doesn't have to. My thing is he doesn't really have to be because he's so OP. People don't know this, but his body emits a pheromone that just kills you.
Oh yeah.
And he's got those tender and I think I could be wrong. I think his armor is adamantium.
It is.
And some kind of just a strong Russian ripoff or something.
Yeah.
But he is awesome. Like.
No, what I mean by fleshed out character, they haven't even like used him.
Yeah, that's true.
In an effective way. Anytime I've seen him like in a movie, whether it be an animated thing or like a live action thing, he's just a crazy bad guy who kind of talks like this and is blah blah blah, and like, you know what I mean? I'm like, why is Omega Red talking like, or if it's in a, you know, he talk like this. No, I'm just kidding. But it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is Soviet. I must break you.
I must break you.
used like iron. No, he's actually one of my favorite, like top 2 or top 3 X-Men villains.
Yeah.
Because he's so cool and he's so hard to beat, and every time, I mean, he was harder to take down than Juggernaut because Juggernaut's dumb.
Yeah.
He was, man, he could kill like entire villages and stuff just by being there.
Yeah.
Like, it should be like that. I'd love to see if they're gonna do an '80s movie like they're doing Wonder Woman. Do it in the '80s, like during the Cold War. They go there, and it quickly turns into a suicide mission. I mean, just imagine like darkness in the woods, and just suddenly, bam! Like that tendril just smacks through like some trees.
Yeah.
Those trees just come down.
Yeah.
God, it'd be cool. Like you can have like a deer like just explode or something. Just.
It is nice to see like tendril, like slow, like okay, so like the Mortal Kombat movie did it with Scorpion stuff, but then like Doc Ock did it, in Spider-Man, so like those are so dumb, those sequences, but they just take like maybe 2 to 3 minutes to like in the fight scenes they slow down and like but they're so cool, like I like them. You know,
well, it's a primal thing. I mean, it's not as probably as like a jungle cat thing, you know, because I think most of our ancestors were that. But it's such a foreign, scary alien thing. Like tendrils, because you only like find them in like the water. Like if you're on a ship and
snakes,
like Kraken. But like you're right. But like the idea of like all those things just coming through, and you literally see this giant ship just crumble.
Yeah.
Which some octopi or octopuses, or maybe some squids. Some squids can do that.
Oh, giant squids!
They can just tear ships apart, like just by. Man, you can't fight something like that.
I mean, I don't know why more people aren't freaking out. Like, remember how we hadn't seen a real giant squid? We had only seen the carcasses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in 2017 or 2016, they saw a real one. And then, like, last year in 2019, they saw, like, a bigger one. They saw one that was, like, almost double the size.
Jeez. Do you think those things could take down, like, an aircraft carrier? Or at least, like, capsize it with their power?
I don't know. But, like, they weren't, like, they were just big. They didn't seem meaty. They didn't seem, like, as strong as, like...
Yeah, they had those, like, watery tendrils.
They were
like jellyfish, kind of.
Yeah. They were more, like... They weren't meaty. They weren't. They didn't seem heavy. You know, I know it's underwater, but still, look that up. Look up like live action, or not live action, but like real life, like giant squid. And there's this like being that just looks like Cthulhu, like just suspended in the deep blue sea. You know what I mean? And if those things were more prevalent, like in the 1700s. God, I'd be scared too.
I mean, but here's the thing: like, they could have been like a common threat, or uncommon threat, or it could have just been like a story or two that actually happened.
Yeah.
But either way, man, like I don't know, I would just love, and he could, and once his tendril got on you, he could drain your life force.
Omega Red.
Yeah. Like,
yeah. Not the.
He was such a great villain. Like.
He was great in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, he was.
Just as a fighter. Yeah. Man,
he was cool. So yeah, like I wish we could have gotten like a Predator-esque that.
Yeah.
Gotta tell you, man, New Mutants doesn't look bad. It doesn't look as good as it originally did, but it doesn't look bad.
Is it still a horror movie, or do they make it like an action flick?
I think it's supposed to be a horror movie, but it looks like they. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen more. Maybe it's because the first trailer was just so fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new trailer?
I haven't seen the new one.
It's not bad.
Really?
It's not great.
Dang.
But it's not bad. It looks like Glass. That movie.
So people are either going to love it or hate it.
Yeah, Glass wasn't bad. I think Glass was a little on the nose. Like I knew what was happening as soon as she started talking. I was like, oh, she's the bad guy.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Glass, I don't care. But she's the bad guy.
Oh, whoops.
And then Bruce Willis dies in a puddle for some reason.
Yeah.
And that was awful.
They try to just explain his powers. Why the hell can I walk this up? Walk this up? Walk up this.
Walk this up!
Yeah. Give it a little boomhauer. Man.
But, I don't know. I hope it lives up to the hype of the first trailer.
Yeah.
And I was hoping the bad guy would be the Shadow King, which, man, I never saw Legion.
It's great.
But it's the
Legion's
Shadow
great.
King, isn't it, that he's fighting? Because I saw the fight where they did Behind Blue Eyes.
So,
And hold
there's
on,
like
and
more seasons and
who
stuff.
made it? Was it Hulu?
FX.
FX, and does it tie in with the Xmen? Because that's Professor X's son.
So in the comic, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
So, what? I'm gonna get mad, dude, if I can't climb up this damn mountain.
Might have to go around.
Oh my God! You're asking me a question. You have asked me a question. I'm gonna go this way. So yes, right? they alluded to that. They allude to it in the show as well.
Yeah.
But since the show hasn't concluded, they haven't really said
Oh, it
for
hasn't
sure.
concluded? Man.
I don't think so. I think there's more seasons.
Is it good?
Yes.
Because it looked great.
Dude, it's very good.
All
Like
right, watch
Aubrey
it.
Plaza's in it,
Oh, nice.
and like she plays like the same character, but because it's the X-Men universe and crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
Like that character gets influenced by a whole bunch of other stuff. And yes, it is the Shadow King, so
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. So you know how crazy that can be.
Yeah, he's the second most powerful mind on the planet.
And it is. He
Yeah.
goes nuts though. Like it's
He's like a Professor X for evil.
dude. And it gets so the guy, the main character,
Yeah.
it's alluded to that he is Charles Xavier's son, right?
Does Charles Xavier exist in that world?
See, you don't know.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Like I've seen half of the second, maybe almost all the second season.
Yeah.
And it's just like artistically.
Yeah,
like
it looks fantastic.
dude, it's awesome. Like I wish more shows just looked that like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where's
he caused Age of Apocalypse
yeah.
because he went back in time to kill Magneto, but he went too far to when they were friends, and he killed his dad by accident. And
Damn.
because Professor X couldn't start the X-Men, Apocalypse took over the world and started one of the best crossovers in comic book history.
Yeah.
I had all 40 issues. I think I sold them to Hans.
Well, I thought I could zip line over there and cut this up a little bit, but we'll keep going.
But
We got a little time.
that's cool, man. I wish. I don't know. I rewatched Iron Man and the Avengers about 2 weeks ago with my wife, and Iron Man was a really good movie.
Yep.
And I'm happy for it for taking a character like that I really did not care about
Yeah.
and making him awesome.
Yeah. Well, talking about Steve Jobs 2 episodes ago,
Yeah.
like Robert Downey Jr. is that kind of creative asshole. Like, and I got
you mean as Tony Stark?
no, as him, like he fits the character because that's how he is. He's like a creative asshole. Like people.
I bet he's been punched in the face though.
He has, dude.
Yeah, that's probably why
Like,
he mellowed.
A lot of like his drinking and shit.
Oh yeah,
like
his drug abuse and all that.
Yeah, but like, and I mean, even now that he's like doing better and sober and shit, he'll tell you, he's like, man, that made me more creative.
Yeah.
Like it just did. And like people didn't like me for it, and you know, fuck them. But that's how Tony Stark should have been played, and nobody had the balls.
And he did it.
And dude, I mean, talking about the X-Men cartoons and the Batman cartoons, there was an Iron Man cartoon I fucking loved.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And he acted that way. He was
a
like,
jerk.
yeah, this like Bruce Wayne-esque rich billionaire, but he was like not just, and he was not nice.
Man, I remember
Awesome.
when the first Iron Man came out, people were like, you know, it caused a resurgence in him, and I understand it because I didn't care about Iron Man. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember he was part of the Illuminati with Professor X, and
Yep.
I know he had the demon in the bottle, and he was an alcoholic and all that.
Yep.
Which is great that Robert Downey Jr. got to portray that because he actually knew what that was like. You
Yep.
know? And but I remember people like comparing Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark, and but the best thing I remember is it was like Tony Stark would invent something that's never been invented before, but somehow Bruce Wayne would already have the patent.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wouldn't have built it, but he would somehow own the patent to it.
Yeah.
And that would define that dynamic.
Yeah. Because Batman does, or Bruce Wayne does have that foresight.
Yeah.
Not like a real physical or not a real mental skill, like
Yeah, he's not
ability.
Yeah, he's not a engineering genius.
No. But he does have that, oh, I need to like if time travel is possible, I need to find out a way to like make that Wayne Industries tech.
Bruce Wayne is Ender from Ender's Game. He fights 30 battles ahead of the first one.
Yep.
He's gonna find a way to beat the opponent before it's needed to be done.
Yeah.
Tony Stark is, the genius that.
What's that? It's that ninja, like versus a drunk Irish brawler mentality. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Batman's a ninja. He's supposed to think around a problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tony Stark's more like, this zip line doesn't connect.
Yeah, I guess
bullshit. Damn. But Tony Stark is a hammer. That's just really smart. He'll just force, Well,
that's the thing is, Batman would never fight the Hulk head on. He wouldn't invent a suit to fight the Hulk.
No.
I know in some iterations Batman builds giant suits, but I never like they don't make sense. Like, I don't like them because they're not his character. He would find a way to get the Hulk out of there because he would be like, get Banner and we can beat Banner.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with the Hulk though. It's because he has Banner, and that's why they like when they fused him. That was pretty cool. Oh, don't rest. Go.
Yeah,
we gotta end this
they
thing.
did like the Doc Samson thing.
Yeah. But it was really neat that.
Well, here's the example. Iron Man fought the Hulk in the Hulkbuster suit.
Right.
And with his own hubris, thought that could do it. When Batman beat up Superman in The Dark Knight Returns, he shot him with a kryptonite arrow. He kept like these like anti whatever beams on him the whole time, and he had a giant suit. Like he made sure like consistent.
Oh yeah.
He controlled the battlefield.
Oh yeah.
And that's the difference I think between them is Iron Man reacts and Bruce Wayne is proactive.
Yep. Yep. But they both have utility belts and all that shit.
They're both great. They're both great characters. They're just two different things. Like, I don't know.
I get you.
Batman never enters a fight he can't win, and if he somehow loses, he comes back and beats you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not to talk about Deadpool just because I love him, but there was because I love that chaoticness. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Of like Deadpool because he's thinking that, but on a way different level, like of consciousness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a run of comics where Deadpool totally like, whoa. He goes and meets Tony Stark.
Yeah.
When he's like in the height of his alcoholism and stuff, just so he could figure out how to go back in time. Basically.
Yeah.
So like he dresses up like as Iron Man, Deadpool does, and it's so funny because instead of him trying to like clean up Tony Stark's act, he makes it worse.
Oh god.
And it's just a really funny like string of comics because then like Iron Man is openly drinking and flying around and like drawing on his suit and stuff, and it's just funny.
Man, that is funny.
There we go. If I can save in here.
Those things are rusted.
Yeah, I know. Hey, yeah, there we go.
All right.
So we made it back to Heartman. Next episode, I guess something's gonna be crazy as shit in there.
Yeah, we'll see him next.
There you go. See ya.